Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my weekly watches. And I can say that because I think it's been a week since I did the last video, and I should have done this earlier, but I didn't. So here we are. I have 9 films that I've watched that I own, and 1 film that I watched that I don't own, and we'll talk about that one first. Otherwise, I'll forget about it at the end. It was last year's film called The Wild Robot, and I heard this film, I've seen a film called The Masterpiece. Oh, it's great, it's this. I don't think so, but I did enjoy it. About this robot, this helper robot. It likes to do tasks, never stops until a task is complete. Lands in the wild, and this thing hatches out of an egg. Is that, if it was a duck or a goose? It wasn't a hen, but it imprints on the robot, and she's got to look after it and deal with all the animals that are all scared of it because it's a big robot. And when I finished watching it, well, during it, I should say, towards the end, the last half, I was thinking, this film looks nice. Not CGI animation, it looked a little bit different. I like the characters, I like the voices, and it's chock jam packed, like putting an elephant into a mini. It's full of heart. Yet not once did I think this is soppy as shit. I just thought, that's nice. That's a nice story. I liked it. The Wild Robot, I'll probably give a 7 out of 10. I did like it. I don't think it's a masterpiece. Not if you want to compare it to anything, it's nothing like WALL-E, but compare it to WALL-E, and WALL-E's a masterpiece. But either way, the films that I own are far more interesting than that, in my opinion. We'll run through them quickly because there's nothing here that nobody doesn't know. We have The Apartment, Billy Wilder classic. Shirley MacLaine, Jack Lemmon, Fred McMurray. Jack Lemmon is CC Baxter. I think he's an insurance guy, works in this big office. The lift girl is Shirley MacLaine, who he fancies. Shirley MacLaine is in a relationship with married man and boss of the building, boss of the company, Fred McMurray. CC Baxter doesn't know that. Plus, he lends his apartment out to his higher-ups, and they give him promotions if they can use his apartment to take their fancy bits. And he's got a neighbour who's a doctor, and his wife think that CC Baxter's a playboy, and that he's going to come to an untimely death with all the drinking and sex that he has. It's fun, it's light-hearted until it's not, and it becomes a little bit more serious. But I've liked it for years, haven't seen it for a while, and I still think it's a great film. This one, hadn't seen for even longer, Hitchcock. All about the making of Psycho, but in there is the relationship between Hitch and his wife, Alma. I think Alma was her name. Don't know what she was like. So I don't know if Helen Mirren is as good or nails her or doesn't come close to her. I don't know. But Anthony Hopkins is a solid Hitch. He does a pretty good job for most of it, even though you can hear Anthony Hopkins come through quite a bit. But it's solid. You've got Scarlett Johansson, this guy down here, I forget his name, and various other people. But as a Hitchcock fan, him being my favourite director, joint favourite director, I thought this was not only enjoyable but quite fascinating. Then we have a racist, a prejudiced Korean war veteran in Walt Kowalski who doesn't like his neighbours because they're Hmong immigrants. And I think you do say it as Hmong, Hmong, Hmong immigrants. He doesn't like them. His neighbourhood's gone to shit. Every white American has moved out, so says one of the Hmong women. But he comes around. He befriends the young girl that lives next door and her dopey younger brother, and he does come around. I didn't quite remember the end, but it's quite sad when it happens, and it's clear why he does it, but it's still sad. Then we have Triangle. It will twist you and terrify you over and over. It will not terrify you. Maybe it might twist you, but probably not, because most people might figure out what's going on. First time I watched it, I didn't, because I don't figure out them kind of things. But Melissa George goes on a boat trip with some people and there's a storm, boat capsizes, this ocean liner comes, they get on it, no one is aboard until people are aboard. And who is it? I'm thinking how to say it. I can't. So there are people aboard, but they're not regular people. Does that make any sense? Probably not. But spoilers, it's a time loop type of film. Unspoilers. I've always liked it. I enjoyed it last time I watched it. Now this film, The Big Heat, is a Fritz Lang film, and it's a film noir, and it has Glenn Ford in it. I like Glenn Ford. Typical film noir. Someone dies, murdered, suicide, cops, gangsters, corruption, all that kind of stuff. 1953, I want to say, and it's in film noir. If you know what film noir is, then that's it. It's nothing special. It's nothing terrible. It's just solid. I enjoyed it. Now this one, I hadn't seen for even longer. Guy Pearce in Memento, a film that is put together strangely. I was reading about it. You have black and white scenes going forward, colour scenes going in reverse order, and they labelled them like the forward scenes, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. But between scene 1, you would have scene V. So you'd have scene 1, scene V, scene 2, scene U. And it would go on like that. And very interesting, probably one of those films that has got lots of rewatch value, despite the fact I've only seen it twice. I'm not sure if it's interesting because of the way it's put together, or it's put together interestingly because I enjoy the story. Either way, I enjoy the film. It's got Joe Pantoliano in it, Carrie-Anne Moss, and I think Guy Pearce does pretty solidly. Then we have The Beach, which I was looking online and people don't like it, but I do. I find Leo going to Thailand interesting. Goes to find this island, it's interesting. When he gets on the island, it's interesting. Towards the end, when he's going all Rambo in the forest on his own, kind of less interesting, but it's just, I like it. And the Robert Carlyle character, I don't care for, but yeah, I like the idea of everything that I see in this film. I like the soundtrack. I think there's a song by All Saints, and is there a song by someone called Moby? But yeah, I like it. I'd love to have access to a beach like that. Then we have the comedy of terrors, Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff, Basil Rathbone. Vincent Price is Mr. Trumbull. He is a funeral director. He hates his partner, who is Peter Lorre. He hates his wife, who he can't stand. Peter Lorre is in love with Vincent Price's wife. Vincent Price and Peter Lorre go around killing people because their business isn't doing very well. So they kill people, bury them, dig them up, take the coffin and reuse it because they haven't got another coffin. They've only got one. And Vincent Price, this might be my favourite Vincent Price performance. Not quite my favourite film of his, even though I do love the film. It's my favourite performance because he looks like he's having so much fun. And I love to see Vincent Price having fun. And lastly is a film called The Professionals from 1966. Burt Lancaster, Lee Marvin, Jack Palance. 4 guys are hired by a rancher to go and rescue his wife because she's been kidnapped by a bandit. And it's 117 minutes long, and it feels more like an action type western. Like there's not many moments that are quiet and silent. Whether that's true, I don't know, but that's the feeling I've got. I've seen this a couple times, and it's just a highly entertaining film. It wouldn't be anywhere near my favourite westerns, the likes of Rio Bravo or The Magnificent Seven, but it's a highly entertaining film of which Burt Lancaster and Lee Marvin are superb together. They talk differently, they act differently, but they play off each other very well. And I just finished watching that 20 minutes ago, and I continue to like it. And that is everything. Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome.